Hey everybody, this is Dave Walsh, host of Card Talk, coming back at you with another Saga campaign playthrough. We've made it to arguably the most iconic quest in the whole saga. This scenario is Helm's Deep. And so this scenario is known to be quite an epic, amazing battle scene, but it's also known for its mechanics turned on its head. Sometimes when you have mechanics that are flipped around and turned on its head, maybe is a swing and a miss, but this one is a swing and a home run, a grand slam, whatever you want to say. Before we set up the scenario, let's move on to looking at the campaign log and the deck like we do at the beginning of every one of these videos. So in terms of the campaign log, we have Helm's Deep here, and you can see we have 5 boons that we've earned. Sam has Tireless Rangered, and we just earned Forewarned in the previous scenario, so that's going to make it much better for Sam because Forewarned allows you to cancel a shadow effect. We have Overcome by Grief and Pursued by the Enemy. A couple of burdens in the encounter deck. There's not much craziness in terms of what we have to start with in this. It's pretty similar to the previous scenario. The one thing that I will say is that Bilbo, Hero Bilbo, even though he's not much of a force in many of these scenarios, in the previous scenario, he was able to cancel Urdug's threat, and in this scenario, it's going to be the same thing. So anytime you start with an enemy in the staging area, as long as that enemy is not immune to player card effects, Bilbo is going to be a hero. So Bilbo hopefully will be a hero the first few rounds here, so maybe help me get set up. So if we look at the deck, you can see it's the standard 4-hero lineup that I've been running. In this scenario, I will say that archery is probably the biggest danger here. So if there's a way we can get either some allies out that are good pincushions, or if there's a way we can very quickly kill those enemies with archery, that may be the best thing. And also if we can quest successfully a few times and kind of go against what the designers had in mind, I think that that's going to be very, very helpful as well. Having something like the Red Book of Westmarch out can help really set this up. Okay, so let's take a look at the scenario and start set up there. I have the scenario set up so we can look at the campaign setup, and I think I explained this in the last scenario. This is an Aragorn scenario. Aragorn's the Fellowship hero here. So there are Aragorn quests where Aragorn is the Fellowship hero, and then there's Frodo quests where Frodo is the hero. And so the campaign seeks to kind of keep that theme, so you have to kind of remove some burdens to kind of keep that theme going. So Gandalf's delay will not be used in Aragorn quests, but will be used in Frodo quests. So we have this quest, which is an Aragorn quest. And so that's all the campaign does. It says, make this, basically it's saying set this up as an Aragorn quest. We can change our heroes out. We've made it to Meduseld, and we can change out the heroes, but you guys know at this point that that's not what I am trying to do. Let's now set up the rest of the stuff before we do the actual scenario setup. Okay, so we have Old Bogey Stories we're going to put on Sam. And again, I know I say this at the beginning, but it's always good to have a card that you feel like you can get rid of. Old Bogey Stories is helpful. We could have used it maybe in the Uruk-hai when we had some dead cards in our hand. It didn't work out that way, so we still have Old Bogey Stories, and likely we're not going to necessarily need it. Tireless Ranger.
He's one of them rangers.
That's going to go on Sam. We'll worry about Sting and Andoril in a minute, but Forewarned also goes on Sam. The other thing is these 2 boons always go on Sam, so if Sam is not in the scenario, we can't use these. We can't switch which hero. By rules, we can't switch which hero that those 2 go on. Overcome by Grief, we're going to put in the staging area. Actually, we'll put just next to the staging area. It doesn't interact with anything in the staging area, so it's just easier to put it off to the side there. And then Pursued by the Enemy goes into the encounter deck. Mulligan. Okay, and so this is what we'll start with. So Build a Pony is really good to start with because that gives me extra hit points on my fragile hobbits, and then a Test of Will is very good because there's a card. Maybe the most deadly card for hobbits in the whole campaign is in this scenario. It's called Devilry of Saruman. When it comes up, there'll be more on that. Okay, so we'll stick with that. So now I can put Sting and Anduril into my deck, and I will make sure to shuffle the deck up. So now it says defensive Helm's Deep, Deeping Wall aside, out of play. Each player sets one copy of Soldier of Isengard out of play, and it says choose one. Either shuffle one copy of Poison Councils into my deck or advance to stage 2A. And so here's the thing. Poison Councils makes you discard your whole hand. So I would much rather advance to 2A than for the rest of the game have to discard my hand if I draw Poison Councils. I'm playing with a thin deck to begin with the contract, because it requires you to have 50 cards. So with the contract, I'm starting with an extra hero. So it's like I've already done that. So I think I'm going to just avoid putting Poison Councils in my deck. Burdens are bad. Let's not put them in our deck. Okay, so by doing that, I'm going to move on to 2A. And it says add the defensive Helm's Deep. The Deeping Wall, make this the active location. And then the Soldier of Isengard. Now, just a couple of things here about the defensive Helm's Deep. So this is basically another form of a time mechanic. It's not the time mechanic, it's a time mechanic. And so I need to hold off the enemies for 8 rounds. By the time I hold off 8 rounds, I can go to stage 5. Stage 5 is clean up everybody. The problem is that the enemies and the locations all have very high threat. When I do the defense keyword, all this high threat is going to make me put progress on the active location and the current quest, and it's going to end up being a mess. So lasting for 8 rounds is a challenge here. It's a lot of fun, but it's a challenge as well. So then it says each player reveals 1 encounter card. Okay, so I get the Devilry of Saruman. It says place 3 progress on the current quest. Until the end of the round, treat each player's text box as if it were blank except for traits. Well, I can't do anything about it, but good thing is it's out of the round, so at least the only thing I have to do is put 3 progress on the current quest, which is interesting because I haven't flipped the current quest. So I wonder if when you put the progress here, if it stays. I'm going to play that it stays. I think that that's the intention. Flip the quest card, and it says defense. So there's that defense keyword. So we already have 3 progress on the current quest, and it says we put 1 progress there for every enemy in the staging area, and if I have 0 enemies, less than the number of players in the game, we reveal an extra encounter card. There are times when that extra encounter card isn't horrible, but because there's not, I think there are 3 Devilry of Sarumans in the deck, and that's a lot. We just saw 1, so that's good. So let's begin. Okay, so Curious Brandybuck. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a pony into play to get those extra hit points. I'm going to put a Hobbit cloak onto Sam, and then I'm going to save stuff. I'm going to save this for my for the next round. I'll be able to put Pippin into play, maybe even Gandalf if something crazy is going on. An Unexpected Courage. I'll have a lot of stuff that I can do. Okay, so I'm going to target the Soldier of Isengard with Bilbo. Okay, so now basically there's 0 in the staging area, which is super nice. I still have to quest with Bilbo, so I'm going to do 1 I'm just going to quest for 6. I'm going to hope for nothing surgy and nothing crazy. Okay, and if I get an enemy, I can defend with Mary. I have a test of will in my hand, so I don't know. If I get an enemy, I can not defend with Mary. I can use his response. So, okay, so what do we get? We get the Hornburg. So that's always nice. Reduce archery value. So I quested for 6. The defense keyword means that if you overquest, you don't put any extra progress on the current location. You don't put anything on the quest, so that's good. Okay, so I'm going to settle up the quest. I quested for 6. There's 3 in the staging areas, and I will put a resource token here. Now, can I kill this guy? That's the question. I can defend it pretty straightforwardly. See, if I engage, then I'm going to have to reveal an encounter card, and that's hard. So I may just leave this guy up there. Okay, and I will do the 1 archery, and I'll do it to Aragorn. So that's the end of the round. Okay, I will put Pippin into play. I think I'm going to wait to put an unexpected courage onto Sam. I'm going to wait 1 turn because there's that nasty devilry of Saruman is not very nice. Oh, I forgot to, at the end of the round, I have to put a progress there. I'm sorry about that. Okay. I knew I missed the trigger. Let's quest, I guess. There's 4 threat right now in the staging area. And I'm going to quest for 1. So I'm going to quest for 8. And I get, when revealed, the enemy is in the staging area with the highest threat makes an immediate attack against you. If no attack was made this way, reckless hate gains surge.
So much death. What can men do against such reckless hate?
Guess what? This guy makes an immediate attack. I don't have anything that I can really do other than... Like, I can't ready Sam. See, I guess I could have if I put unexpected courage on him. So I guess I will... Oh, I can ready Sam. Look, I'm going to use those 2, and I will ready Sam. Okay, so now Sam will ready. So he's defending for 4, and then I'm going to use Forewarned to get rid of the shadow card. And Sam doesn't take any damage. There's a bonus here from the Deeping Wall. He's got 2, 4, 5 defense. So that's pretty good. So reckless hate is reckless ain't. No progress is made. So I'm able to put a resource here. And I have to put a progress on here. One of the things that I find is that eventually you get so many locations in here that you want to like precision unquest, underquest, whatever it is, to clear a location to get another location over here. But right now I'm feeling pretty good. I have to take another archery, so Aragorn, my pincushion Aragorn here, and now we will go on to the next round. See, now Odo Proudfoot would be a great card to play because of getting Rosie Cotton into play. Maybe I can get Rosie Cotton or Gaffer Gamgee, so that's what I'm going to do. Instead of playing the Unexpected Courage, I'm going to put Odo Proudfoot into play. I'm going to look at the top 5 cards, and I don't have any Hobbits. No! So frustrating. Okay, well, at least it gives me an extra quester and an extra guy that I could use to chump block if I needed to. There's a lot of things that I can do with that, I guess. I do have Gandalf. Gandalf may be good to draw 3 cards. I'm going to hold on to Gandalf. So now there's 5 in the staging area. Let's go with 2. So there's 9. No Deeping Culvert. I do get the Isengard Uruk. Either take 3 damage or reveal an additional encounter card. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is do this and lower my threat by 2. And I think I'm going to do 3 damage among characters that I control. So I will do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's an extra 2. So now I can engage this guy. So this is the problem, is he's got 2 archery and 1 archery. So I have to be able to mitigate archery by attacking these guys. And that's really what I got going on here. Is just trying to mitigate the archery. So I have to do archery 3. So I can do 1, 2, 3. I will deal a shadow card. I will defend with Sam, exhaust forewarned to get rid of the shadow card. So now I can attack here for 3, 4, 6, and that kills this guy. In the staging area right now, in terms of threat, is 5. I forgot to put a progress token onto the defensive Helm's Deep here. I am going to do that and put a progress here. And I think next round, no matter what, I'm going to engage the Soldier of Isengard and just hope that I don't get something bad with my extra encounter. Okay, so I get Sting. That's a really good card to have. So I'm going to put Sting into play.
Sting. It's a good name. Sting.
I think I'm going to put Gandalf into play here. So, and Gandalf is going to draw me 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And I get Rosy Cotton, and I used my leadership resources. Let's put a Dagger of Westerness onto Sam. And I'm going to put a Dagger of Westerness onto Aragorn. So now we quest 2, 9, and there's 6 in the staging area. And we get the Deeping Wall. So that's 10 in the staging area. So 1 progress on the current location. So that was the end of questing. So I will put a resource icon on that guy. I will engage the Soldier of Isengard. That allows me to ready and to ready. I will do the 1 onto Gandalf. I will use Gandalf to defend. Is that really what I want to do? I will use Sam to defend. Get rid of the shadow card. Okay, so I have no damage onto Sam. And now time for attack back. 4, 11. Okay, Soldier of Isengard is dead. So there's no enemies. So it's the end of combat, right? At the end of the combat phase. So now I reveal an encounter card. And I get Surge. Attack the active location. So each enemy gets an extra threat. That's another 4. So this is what I was saying. Like, now I have too many locations in the staging area, so I would love to be able to, like, precision quest to lose the quest by 3 to get rid of this. But I don't have to put any progress on here, so that's a good start. Love Gaffer. Let me get rid of Gandalf. Okay, I still don't have enough to put Rosie into play, but I will put an Unexpected Courage onto Sam. I forgot to trigger Sting's response there. Whatever. I missed it. So now we quest. I don't know if I can get up to 15, but getting to 12 would be nice. 2. How about 12 like that? So now I'm going to try to see what I get here. Okay, well, lower my threat by 4. This guy makes an immediate attack. He's got archery 1. So let's make the immediate attack. I will ready Sam. So I will defend with Sam, and I will reveal a card. This guy does 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to get rid of the shadow effect. No damage. Let's total this up. Again, I did 12, and in this staging area is 4, 12, 15, 19, 20 because of this. So I lose by 8. So that's 3 here, and then 5 more here. I have to go find Helm's Gate. Make it the active location.
Raise the gate!
When I flip this over, it just says after resolving the quest, if the encounter deck did not place at least one. So right now, I'm feeling pretty good about what I have. Okay, so now it's the end of the quest phase, so I'll put a progress there. I will engage this guy. I have to do archery somehow, so I'll do archery to Sam. Spread it around. Everybody's got to take a little archery, Sam. That readies Sam. Deal a shadow card. Now I could cancel the attack, but I think I'm likely to be able to kill this guy because of the effect on Sting. I can't cancel the shadow effect, but I can declare him as an attacker, as a defender, and I get something silly. Okay, so he's attacking for 5, but Sam is defending for 5, 6, right? I engage, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Sting is 6. I did engage somebody with that. Exhaust a character that I control. I will exhaust Build a Pony. I guess I can come through with Pippin and do 1 damage here. I'm going to put Rosie Cotton into play. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait around, and I'm going to put the Red Book of Westmarch into play, because I would rather... No, you know what? I'm going to put Rosie into play. No, I'm going to wait for the Red Book of Westmarch, because it seems like right now I have engagements and combat under control. The Red Book of Westmarch would really help me be able to do some good questing. So right now in the staging area, I have 5, 8, I have 16. So now I'm going to quest. So I'm hoping to quest for 13. I'll just quest for 13. What do we get? We get the Wild Hillman. I will exhaust Mary to lower my threat by 3. So I make 3 progress here.
Fall back! Fall back! They're broken through! Castle is free!
And 3 progress here. And when I say I mean the encounter deck. Okay, so now I have minus 20 and plus 2 attack. Okay, let me do everything. So this, I get an extra... card. I can travel to the Deeping Wall, which makes a lot of sense. I will engage the Wild Hillman, though, because I have to. And he gets that engagement until the end of the round. You know what I forgot to do? I will do this now. I did explore a Deeping Wall. When I explored a Deeping Wall, I had forgotten to raise my threat by 4. So I will make up for that now. I don't think it affected anything, so that's why I feel like that's okay. Keeping track of all the triggers sometimes in this game is a challenge. I will do this. And everybody has plus 2 because of the Helm's Gate was explored. So everybody crashed through Helm's Gate. So I'm going to cancel this guy's attack and discard this. I'm also going to give Aragorn the damage from the archery. The modification because of Helm's Gate lasts for the entire round. So this guy, in effect, has an engagement cost of 4. So that means I didn't engage an enemy with an engagement cost higher than my threat. So I will have to use Unexpected Courage to ready Sam. And Sam has a defense of 4, and this guy's attacking for 5. So what I'll do is I will defend using Sam, and then I don't get any damage to him. Okay, and I will exhaust Forewarned to get rid of that. Now, this guy doesn't have any toughness. I will put 1 progress on the active location, but I will use these 2 resources to ready Aragorn, and he will attack for 4 and build a pony for 5. That makes this guy dead. So I have Gaffer, I have the Red Book of Westmarch. I haven't been putting the Curious Brandybuck into play. I probably should, but I haven't. I'm going to put a fast hitch right onto Sam. Okay, so now questing. I will quest for 3. I'm questing for 17, and in the staging area is 6, and 3 is 9, and 4 is 13. Night Without End. Either remove 1 resource from the or reveal 2 additional encounter cards. Okay, so I'll do the Doom 2. I will remove a resource token from Defensive Helm's Deep. But I end up successfully questing, so I get to put that token right back on there. And it says, after resolving it, the reveals an encounter card. So I need to reveal an extra encounter card. And I get... I hate that. Okay, but I reveal it, and it says assign 3 damage or reveal an extra encounter card. I think I have to play the Test of Will. I just don't have it in me to either take 3 damage or to reveal an extra encounter card, especially with all the archery that's going to be out there. Okay, but I do get to exhaust this. I did quest successfully. So there's this. So this is guy's going to come into play. Down, I guess. Deal shadow cards. So now I have to do 3 damage. Each Hobbit character gets +1. Well, let me trigger these guys. So, you know what? I might as well here. So look. I can do 1 damage on Pippin, 1 damage on Odo, and I'll do a damage on Gaffer, and then I'll bring Gaffer back into my hand and cancel an attack here. I'll cancel this guy's attack. And that's pretty sweet. Okay, so now I will do this, and I will defend the Uruk with Sam. Sam is defending for a whole boatload here. So it's fine. I will get rid of the shadow card. I will do this. Look, I can't. The Sting doesn't do anything. So no damage, no nothing. Okay, so between Pippin and Bill the Pony, I can kill this guy. And Sam is attacking for 3, let's see, 5. And Aragorn's attacking for 5, so that's enough to kill the Isengard Rook. So I'm going to put the Warden into play. Thank goodness, Mr. Warden. So I will exhaust the Warden to heal. Let's see, who are the most... I feel like Aragorn and Merry, I guess. So now let's quest. So that's 10, 13 in the staging area. Okay, so that's 3, 15. And I get a Hillman, the Wild Hillman. So I will use Merry and drop my threat by 3. And this guy is 3 threat. So I do 1 there. So I quested successfully. There's this.
Fell deeds awake.
Now for wrath, now for ruin, and the red dawn. For sail ended!
And I didn't put a progress on the stage at the end here, so I get to reveal another encounter card, which is the postern door. So I will now engage this guy forcibly. I'm forcibly engaging this guy. His engagement cost is lower than my threat, so that's a forced engagement, not optional. So I have to ready Sam this way. Deal this guy a shadow card. He's going to make an attack, but I am going to use Sting here. I will declare Sam as a defender. 3 threat, so that means this guy takes 3 damage, and so he dies before he actually makes an attack, so the Deeping Wall doesn't get any more engagement. Didn't quest successfully, so I can't add an extra token, not progress token, resource token, but that's the way it is. So right now in the staging area is 7, 10, 14, 17. 17 threat in the staging area. So now I'll put Rosie into play.
Rosie caught dancing. She had ribbons in her hair. If ever I was to marry someone, it would have been her.
And I think I'm going to put the Curious Brandybuck into play. Heal up some folk. I'm going to heal Mary and Odo. And now let's quest. 3, 18 willpower, plus I can boost with Rosie. Okay, so let's see what we get. We get a Deeping Wall for 4. So I think I'm going to keep that, and I do 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. I explored the Deeping Wall, so that means I raise my threat by 4. I did put this, so that's after resolving the quest, and it says at the end of the quest, so we're at the end of the quest phase, I put my progress token there. And it says, move this to the victory display and advance to 5A. Okay, so there's 4A, 5A. Shuffle the encounter card, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Discard cards from the encounter deck until X enemies are discarded. X is the number of players. Add each enemy discarded this way to the staging area. Okay, I did get 1 enemy. Now this is not when revealed. And so now we will flip the quest card. It says skip the quest phase. If there are no enemies in play, players win the game. Guess what I'm going to do? This archery 2 is a pain in the neck, but I'm glad I got out who I got out. I'm going to engage this guy. I'm going to do archery 2. I'm probably going to be able to kill this guy this time around, so I'll do 2 damage to Aragorn, I guess. I don't know. So that readies Sam and Pippin. I will do a shadow. I will defend with Sam, and I will get rid of this shadow card. And Sam defends that for a whole bunch. I'm going to trigger Sting. Maybe Sting will do 5 damage. There's nothing with 5 threat, but I don't know. One can hope here. Okay, I'll do 2 damage to the... There was 3 threat. Sting does 3, but the toughness eliminates one of that, so that's why it's down to 2. Okay, so now how are we going to do 4 more damage? Well, Sam's attacking for... right now his base is 3, 4, 5. So Sam himself can come across and kill this guy. So there are no enemies in play. Guess what? Win the game. I guess we resolved the campaign. So we'll flip this over, and it says, Each player with a copy of Poison Councils in his hand, deck, or discard pile has earned that burden. I don't have that burden. So let's see what the score is here. 111. So we'll update the campaign log and we will move on from there. Okay, so today's date is 7/27 and my final score was 111. Okay, I didn't earn anything. I could put in here that I never earned Poison Councils. I guess the next thing we do is we go on to the road to Isengard, the 11th scenario in the Saga campaign. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Thanks for joining us.